3, 2, 1.
Light them up.
I'm Paul.
This is Buck.
This is the Paul and Buck Show.
Hey, the Big Buckin Deal. Hear us. Download the latest app at paulandbuckshow.podbean.com. Okay, guys, we're back. Paul, Buck, Big Buckin Deal Show. We're back once again. We were absent. Partner here was out and about.
Yo.
He was, is what you call
on vacation.
MIA, if you want to call it, in vacation. But today, another season, another holiday.
Yeah, we had to come back, man. For
we're back. We're back.
So Halloween version.
Halloween version 101, or version 2.0.
We had the 1.0, but
yeah,
our shit screwed up. And,
yeah, so
damn,
we had an episode last year that we were going to come about and talk about a particular movie that was back in the 50s, right?
Yeah, it takes place in the 1950s. It's about I think it's a damn lizard or something, and it's after the community, and it's up to these teenagers in a hot rod,
right,
to ride around and hunt this damn thing down.
They were in this hot rod, right? So they were in this vehicle that had some.
It was like
a 32, history, right?
It's a 32 Roadster. It was a real drag car from the 1950s, and I think from what I remember, and you know what, man, I don't have the names.
Yeah.
Because I found it was even hard to find it back then, and we had it ready to go.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this car is built. It's for drag racing, and it goes to cattle mills to drag race, and it's from the Dallas area.
That's what it was.
The car's from the Dallas area, and so it had I guess they contacted the kid to put the car in the movie, so he had to take out his regular motor and put a street motor in it so that it could be streetable for the show. Because back then cars didn't have starters; they were probably mechanical injected, and so I don't know if you ever hear mechanically injected motor, but they idle like at 2,000 or something like that.
That mechanical side.
Old school. You got to pump the tank and dude, there's a lot of work done. So this car was pretty neat, man. It was a real race car, and so anyway, it's in the movie, and he's running around with his girlfriend.
Wasn't it like the green something? The name of that movie?
Lizard.
Something, man. Anyway, that was last year.
Komodo dragon or the
Komodo
it was like
lizard.
It was some weird shit. It was a huge lizard, right?
It was weird, but so that was going to be the plan for last year, but again, something didn't work out right. The recording didn't come out right. It was kind of got midstream, but. This year, right? Dude,
I actually went and contacted the guy who posted that story about that car.
Yeah.
And the guy's like in his 80s, right? And so I sent him an email. I said, "Hey, man, what is the name of that car from Dallas?" He's like, "Oh, I've got it." And so he sent it to me, and man, now I don't even have the email or his text message.
Well, like I said, that was a long forgotten episode. Like I said, we apologize, but like I said, this year, right? We're gonna just kind of go roll with the theme. All right, October,
2023,
Halloween. It's cold here in Central Texas. Surprisingly, it's cold. So, just to kind of stick with the theme, right? Just kind of roll into some of those movies where we talked about. There was the Magnum PI episode.
Yeah, we're talking about what kind of movies should we talk about?
There was the Magnum PI episode that had a funny. Well, I guess it wasn't funny. There's
always some kind of investigation going on with him.
Investigation.
But he's dressed up. He's dressed up as the I think he looked like the Colonel from KFC. I forgot what that dude's name is. A famous poet or something.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's dressed like that guy.
That's funny.
Then another one is Knight Rider.
Knight Rider.
He also had. They also had a. I don't know, man. Some kind of creepy floating.
Do you remember the Knight Rider where they were drag racing? They went and did like an undercover.
They show up at a hamburger joint.
It was like a hamburger, like a drive-in, and it was funny because I remember that episode. It was they were like signing up for it or something. It was like some weird. Sign me. So that's a whole different Knight Rider.
Right.
Roll off, if you will, but
there was another one that was similar to that one, aside from being horror. But it was, I guess you would say horror. Charlie Sheen was in it, and the Rave.
The Wraith.
Yeah, and so remember how he keeps killing them, and so that dude's all at the end he's trying to chase him down.
It's funny because some of the characters in there, I don't know the guys.
Famous, yeah.
Yeah, there was the Ron Howard's brother, the guy, the bald guy with the mad scientist with the glasses. Mm-hmm. That was Ron Howard's brother, and then the guy the tall guy that was in the, I guess it was the TA.
It was a Trans Am. Modified Trans Am.
He was the guy. If you remember the movie Life with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, where they got stuck in prison for life.
Yeah. Okay.
He was the prison guard.
Oh, was he?
The prison guard was the guy who played the Wraith. That
I was wondering why I'd seen this guy before. That was because he actually looked older in that movie.
Yeah, I think they made him look older. Yeah, they made him look older. But yeah, that the Wraith that was like in mid 80, 86, 87. But that was a movie that you would always watch because it was kind of, and that car was like a Chrysler Dodge. It was a prototype that you never came about, but that car was butt ugly. I
don't know why people still glorify that car as being bad. It was ugly as shit.
It was ugly as car.
It
didn't even look right. Yeah, it was like a wedge.
Yeah, some kind of smooth wedge.
Yeah, a wedge of. So to kind of roll on.
The only reason why I remember those is because they were like the weirdest shows that came on.
They were weird.
The Magnum PI one was weird. The Knight Rider one was weird because you'd be in a I think they were like in a hotel or something, and then out of nowhere this 3D image just kind of comes in through the window or something.
Yeah.
You know, you always gotta have that girl scream. You know, you gotta have that cheesy, classic yell.
Yeah, the cheesy yell.
Kid, I need your help, buddy. You know, I'm on my way, Michael. Yeah, goddamn. Here we go.
The Giant Gillian.
There you go.
That was the name of that movie.
That was it.
Actually, so to kind of roll back to from last year, like I said, there was we kind of had a whole episode, man, and we I thought we did good, but unfortunately my mistake, something didn't happen right, didn't record right.
It was beyond our control.
It was out of our control, so it was technical difficulty. But
blame Amazon.
But it's 10-4. But again, going to this year, right? Like I said, another season. Another Halloween, we're down and we're still alive, we're still around, got episodes coming. But to kind of just roll into the season, right? We're just, let's have fun, just talk about some things.
Yeah.
It's cold. The trick-or-treaters are going to have...
It's going to be windy, man. This has got 15, 20 mile an hour winds tomorrow.
It's going to be... it's going to be plenty cold. And... I'm not looking forward to it, but it is what it is.
Like, so we'll hit it early. I'm just gonna drive by.
We'll hit it early, right?
Go, mijo. Go.
Yeah, y'all go ahead. We'll enjoy it. We'll be riding right behind you. But the thing too that talk about the seasons. I hate this time of year, but there was somebody said it good today. I rather prefer a 100-degree day over a 30-degree day any day, and I'm with it. I prefer to be on the warm side. I hate being cold.
Man, I prefer the cold because as long as I got a heater and I'm inside a garage.
Oh, that's nice.
I'm good to go. You know what does get to me? When you see that gray sky for too damn long.
Oh, well,
you start thinking of the summer. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I'm coming back and talking about. Is that the season? Then you got the days are shorter.
Right.
It's dark time when you get off work or whatever. It's like
no more hours. You can't go.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can do stuff. It's just like you don't feel like doing nothing.
It's nighttime.
You don't feel like doing nothing. But so Halloween.
Ice Age. You got to stay on the ground.
Yeah.
Can't go nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. So Halloween during the week. You got any other plans? You got any plans?
For Halloween?
Yeah, just in general.
Man, we're just gonna trick or treat and see what kind of good candy we can get.
Oh yeah, it's always what we look forward to.
That's the whole point, right? Just to
that's the whole point, right?
Go dipping for
well
as much chocolate as you can find and
that one time
take it before your kid gets in the morning.
It's always like you always have. I think we have candy from last year.
Yeah.
So there's always leftover stuff.
Dude, you know what?
Candy. Don't like this. Don't
no,
like
you know
that,
what we have
like
to
that.
do,
Okay,
man.
we'll keep this. Don't like that.
No, 3 kids. I got 3 kids.
Yeah.
All boys, and they all go trick or treating, and they all come back with bags. And the last thing you want is for them to eat the whole damn bags and then start jumping into each other's bags.
Yeah.
Because it's candy all week long for them. So we usually try and...
That's always a good thing.
Put up the candy and then, there's candy wars, for like another 2 weeks. Where'd you put my candy? Where's my candy hiding? And,
Right,
they don't want to... They'll eat and, eat with candy. And, it's like, man, we don't want no damn cavities.
Oh, no, man. I mean, that's...
But give me the Snickers.
Kit Kat, Snickers. That's like I said. There's a sorting of the Halloween candy. The dislike. Okay, where that one's going, or the good stuff, right? The dislike stuff's always going to sit around for about a
Those are the lollipops.
year or
the
whatever.
Funky little lollipops that you can always get anywhere. Doctor's office.
Yeah.
Lollipops.
Yeah, you got the Tootsie Rolls. Those get chunked away.
Tootsie Rolls? Yeah, those are my leftovers, I guess. Eat those.
Tootsie
the last
Rolls.
call.
Man, anyway, so yeah, just kind of getting prepared for that. But let's kind of, talk a little bit more like the car scene, right? The stuff that happened. We had there was a car show in Taylor that happened this past weekend.
I said, I'm going to go to that car show. Should I call Buck? Nah. He probably already went and gone. So I get there and I'm taking photos. I'm taking there's some nice cars. I get there, it's already, dusk.
Oh, yeah.
And, hell, I had no idea I took a photo of your ass. You were sitting there.
Oh, yeah. That was
we didn't even find out till what, midweek later?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, that was the show when they had at Top Notch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we went to the nostalgia drags earlier, and me and my boy were like, let's
That's
go.
right. That's where I thought you had to
And
go.
then it's like, okay, so we just wandered over to Top Notch. They had the car show, which they're gonna have second Saturday every month. So it will be coming up again on the 14th of November.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, we're there, and I was in the background. I had a band playing, and you took a picture, and like you showed the pictures on social media. I'm like, hey, that's me back there. That's me back there. I was like, that is me back there. But yeah, that was a good little turnout. It was nice. But I was talking about the car show in Taylor this past weekend, right? The Main Street car show that it was a good turnout. I think some of the rain kind of scared some.
Can you pause real quick? You got a water,
again?
bottle of water? I need to clear out
No
some water.
Yeah, I'll just keep going. Pause it.
Because I might be coughing the whole damn time. Just let it roll, fuck it.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, it ain't good. It's all good. It's still rolling.
Alright, got my water.
A little pause.
No more
it's all
coughing.
good. It's all good. But yeah, talking about the car show there in Taylor, good turnout. I think. I mean, it was probably still a good every bit of 300-400 cars. Like I said, there was some weather that came in that maybe scared some folks off, but
was there?
From what cause like I said, when we rode in there it was about 9 o'clock.
Right.
The clouds were low. It was dark. It looked like it wanted to rain.
Yeah, it did.
And it didn't. But then it got real hot and muggy, and the sun was popping in and out, and then so it didn't rain when we were there. But I think later on in the afternoon it did. But
yeah.
Overall, it was a lot of cars. There was a lot of cars. Seen a lot of people, and
Shit, every time I see a big show like that, all I see is pain. I was like, I'm not gonna walk that at all.
Oh,
I'll go to a small show, walk here, and I'll go sit down. But now, with my jacked up back, I had a friend of mine, Ken, if you're listening, the dude reports I just walked 3.5 miles. And I'm like, what? And then he's got this map on Facebook where he shows, dude, he looked like an ant just retracing every single spot he went into. And
he did.
Dude, he acquired, tracked 3.5 miles, man.
Wow.
Just in that one little area, because he was taking photos. And,
I believe it, man, because it went up.
It's like it was like an eye, right?
Yeah, so exactly. It went up an eye, and they went like 2 blocks over on the east and west side of the main street, but it went up like 4 blocks. So it was. I believe it. If not more,
I'm gonna go get me one of them scooters one of these days, man. Freaking put some extra lithium batteries in, and speed it up.
Yeah, get the move out of the way and do put a horn.
Oh shit!
Get out of the way.
One of the big ones.
Yeah. Like I said, it was big. Now I think, do they still have the Round Rock one? Not the here in Austin Round Rock. Not the one at
the Dell.
No. The one that they usually have on Sundays there
That's the Dell. They have. Well, they moved it to.
Oh,
Dell.
they moved it to Dell. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, because you're used to the one that they had downtown.
Yeah, downtown.
They moved it to Dell because they got so big.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
So yeah, they're still on, they're on Facebook. Weather permitting, they still promote it. I don't know how it's gonna go this month, or next month, November, because the weather and stuff. But shoot, we went out there in the November, didn't we?
I know. It still goes on. I mean, it's not too cold.
No, but it was kind of cold that day. It was
cool.
Sunny.
It was cool. It was nice. It was comfortable. I mean, it wasn't horrible. But
yeah.
So they I would suspect. I didn't know they moved it to Dell. Okay, there you go. I didn't. Because before it was in that little tiny parking lot right there in downtown Round Rock, kind of by I guess they called it like a park or whatever. It wasn't a park. It was
it's the. Because
they had the little band pavilion and the little.
I forget what they call that building. It's right off 35 and McNeil.
Yeah, McNeil.
It's for the retirement.
Yeah.
They've got different facilities in there, and so they donate the park out.
Gotcha.
So it's put on by the Round Rock Police Department. So
that's right. So okay, Dell Diamond. There you go. Okay.
Now they're at Dell Diamond. Yeah, they've been there for I think a year and a half.
Wow. Okay. There you go.
It's big. It's pretty nice.
Well,
Some of the big names that that are around Austin, you'll see their cars there, man.
Yeah. I've seen quite a bit of nice. I always see nice cars there. And sometimes you always see cars that you never seen before. But
dude, Barrett from Tater.
Yeah.
With his little roadster.
Mm-hmm.
He drove it out there, man.
Oh, did he?
That one time, the last time that I went out.
Well, which one? I mean,
the black.
The original. It's got the original wheels, like the spoke wheels.
Yeah. He had just put in a flathead in it, and he drove it out there to break it in. Dude, he was the show. That was him and Oscar went, and so with their little club cars parked there.
Yeah.
It looked nice.
Yeah,
it was a setup. So like I said, you've got a wild variety.
You got a variety, really. It's not just
SW. Y'all hear SW? Yeah, he had his
Pontiac.
Him and what's his name, Trevor from Texas Speed. He had his Camaro there, and they both drove up that one time that I remember. So you're gonna get a variety of car customizers that show up.
Well, Round Rock, there you go. And is it like the second or third, or I could probably look on there.
Every third Sunday of the month or something like that.
Okay. And then of course I think it's the first Saturday of the month in Top Notch on Burn It, and then second Saturday of the month in Hutto car show, and then obviously third Saturday Round Rock, Dell Diamond. And of course they have the one at the first of the month over at the Park and Pizza, Austin Park and Pizza. Yeah,
that one got one got a little rowdy a few times.
It's gotten big, and it's actually gotten bigger. And I think they cracked down on security, and they
had to.
Yeah, there's people wrecked there.
Dude, even inside it was. We went out there one day. It was after one of those hangouts.
Yeah.
And no joke, man. A lady got jawed at the entrance by another person, and then further down there was some shit talking going on in the back in the picnic tables, and
funny.
I mean it was just
it was not any of those Corvette guys.
The inbound shoes.
That's usually what
happened.
That's all you see
some
there.
ass,
you see the
some shit.
You see the Corvette guys, and then you see the exotics.
Man, you saw so that one day
Lambo there a couple times.
I can't remember what kind of car drove in, and he rear-ended another exotic car. Two of them, they just busted each other up, and just because they were being stupid or something, and they didn't stop. They didn't stop. It was little stuff like that. Then some other stuff went on that only got onto the internet.
I would agree that it does get kind of rowdy. Like I said, I know that the turnout's gotten so big that it's like fills that whole parking lot. So for one, it's crowded, and then of course you got a lot of cars. You got with different cars, with different personalities.
Already, it got out of control there earlier this year.
It's still happening. Like I said, you're right. I haven't been out there in a while either. So, but that still goes on around here. So that there's always something going on. It seems like every weekend, but weather permitting. But
you also have what is it called? 79 on the west side, the detail shop or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah, the detail shop.
They have one every Saturday morning.
Yeah, I need to give a shout out to them because my buddy, he's got a club called the Select Few, and they're like a C10 club. But I think they're having something there on the 4th, November 4th. If I'm not mistaken.
They reached out to Josh one day, and they said if you wanted to set up something for one of those or book a Saturday for any of the us friends, whatever. But for us, we're the cars that we know, they're always too busy setting up for a drag race. So who's gonna want to take a car like that? But and then you've got like I said, you've got the Taylor guys. That'll go out there. I just never pieced it together. It's a lot of hassle to organize, but they have a variety. If it's not Jeeps, it's gonna be what do they call it? The imports. They call them some kind of 3-letter word. I don't know what they're called. I just know because in Hot Wheels, they're huge in Hot Wheels. Man, they just like modify the shit out of them. Worldwide, man, those import cars are just. If they're not modifying them in Hot Wheels, they're building them for real. And BLM, is it BLM? No, not BLM.
Hell, I have
JO, some shit like that. So anyway, imports and European cars, they show up. They have a variety, like Jeeps and trucks, like the C10s.
C10s?
Yeah.
So there's always.
Are you talking about the guys over from Kalina or
no? Actually,
Waco
they're from around here.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah, they're from around here because I know that there's a few in Hutto, a few in Round Rock and Austin. So yeah, they're like local, but the clean guys they got their own little thing too.
Charger, there's a Charger club.
Yeah, there's like a G8 GTO club. Yeah, so anyway,
they've all been there. All been there.
Yeah,
I didn't want to take my car because shit, I couldn't.
They have something there too, like a monthly thing on top of like this one car show that's going on, but because that guy, the owner, I mean, he likes putting something off like that, right?
Yeah, I think he's got a wrapped Porsche with like the Golf designs or something like that.
Really?
At least I see that car there quite a bit. And then there's a few other cars that show up when I drive by there. They caught my truck one day. I was cruising through there, and I guess their drone caught my truck.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was cool.
That's cool. But like I said, seem like at least till the weather gets extremely bad, there's gonna be something going on. But like I said, I don't know. We'll see. But weather is a factor, but like it doesn't keep none of us down here.
We also need to put a get together.
Yeah, that's what we talked about it. We talked about it, and it still can happen. I mean, it may not be organized the best, but we could probably still have something.
Something a little different, something that caters to the drag race community, where they can bring the trailers and the cars.
Got plenty of room here.
And if you've got like a mom and pop business or whatever your business is, I mean,
there you go. Yeah, that's one thing we talked about.
Put it there. Something different is what I wanted to do.
Get some folks to come in just to kind of share their items or products or something locally that just wants to kind of get familiar with what we do and what we can offer and then
we just need to find the right parking spot.
Yeah,
because if you're gonna bring a trailer and all that,
we got room here depending on how many people do show up, but that's something that can happen.
Bring your 55, bring your truck. Your Camaro.
That's always got plenty of room here. It's getting about that time where it's getting ready to have some appearances.
Maybe early next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm shooting for. That's the plan. And of course, there's going to be some other news coming out with some of the stuff that Paul has designed, his shirts and whatnot. So that's going to be coming out.
I've been busy doing. I had to slow down on the customer intake because I haven't done any of my stuff.
Right. Yeah.
And so every time I want to do something, I always put my stuff on the back burner. But little by little, I was kind of planning some stuff out there, and so one of the things that I took care of was your artwork, so that you could get your stuff out there. So you haven't even introduced your shirts yet, really?
No, not yet. I just there's a few teasers out there, but like I said, not full blown. And like I said, that's what we've been working on. And like I said, there's stuff happening. I think, like I said, early next year there can be a lot more details. But like I said, we're still. I mean, it could be sooner than that. Like I said, we're just in October and damn near November. God damn, you're going by fast. But
it does go fast.
Well, like I say, on top of that, this episode, like I said, it's just something we were gonna kind of just like a teaser, Halloween special, just some chat BS. But there will be some more episodes coming out soon. This year has been really kind of
that heat, boy. It stopped.
Well, that did play a big factor. Like I said, there's things that we had scheduled for some time, and
some races still went on towards
almost
towards the middle of the summer, man, which is nuts.
Well, like I said, a lot of the fast stuff like stopped in June. July, August, there was a break, and there was not a whole lot of stuff going on. I mean, there were still races going on, but not like for like fast or big payouts, if you will. And then September came around, bam, bam, bam. But where I was going was that we had stuff planned for people to come in throughout the year, but like say you had the summer and obligations and other things, and so it halted, which is not a big deal, right? It gave us time to do what we had to do.
I missed 3 shows or
a couple shows. I mean,
yeah.
So I mean, there was something going on. Like I said, we
if it's not a hailstorm, it's a dude. That hailstorm was no joke.
That's right. So if it wasn't a hailstorm, or if there's something going on like outside of just personal stuff, on both of our ends.
Well, for me, that hailstorm, it caused roof damage.
So that was the hailstorm that they come through it was on a Sunday, right?
Yeah.
It was on a Sunday evening about a month and a half ago. So it may have been like
dude, if you didn't have your car under something,
it got damaged.
You're going to total it out, or
you're
going to show up at the drag strip with dents.
So you got the wrath of that on your side.
I got really lucky on my car because we had just pulled it out to do some front suspension. No, we're actually trying to do the nitros. We're trying to finish up in the glove box, and so we pulled it out, and we're gonna pack it back up, and so we're like, no, let's just park it in the back, and we'll pull it back out, to the front. And not hours later, man, I'm driving to go pick up one of my sons, and I get the phone call, hey, there's hailstorm coming, and there's no way I can turn back. So we're braced for the worst, and we actually got stuck in under a gas station
because it came fast.
It was My
and
wife says
it was in even time. It was like after 8 or something.
Baseball size.
Yeah,
I mean, ball size. So, but
windshields knocked out, windows, houses, roofs.
Yeah, one car of mine got a windshield cracked, some dings on it, which I got the light end of it at my house for some reason, because my next door neighbor, the truck got pretty much almost totaled out, like $20,000.
Yeah, they said pretty much like the whole I-34, I-35 corridor was like it just went south, right?
Right.
But you're right, close by the I-35 corridor, right? So
my car only got 3 dings. One on the rear quarter, knocked out my driver mirror. And
what about some of your neighbors, though?
Dude, the next door neighbor, like I said, her husband has a Camaro, one of the new Camaros. Popped the windows, rained all in his car. The daughter, her car got totaled out, and the mother, the truck was $20,000 in damage to one of the new Fords. And a lot of cars were going to be in the Round Rock High School parade. So a lot of these kids that live in the neighborhood or around the surrounding area, they were all planning to take their cars that Tuesday
show.
To the whole, because it runs through the whole neighborhood, and a lot of them were out of commission. We didn't take our car because I'm not gonna take with the freaking nasty freaking scratch ding on the side and a busted mirror. But a bunch of other cars didn't make it through either, man. Some of them got really totaled out. So
that was one of the fiascos and stuff that had went down and kind of knocked you kind of out of commission, if you will. But hopefully all of that gets sorted. But like I said, that was a few of the things, and I've been holding it down, like I said, but again, we do have stuff planned. It's just a matter of everything coordinating and with the other individual to make sure our schedules sync in. But
how did the nostalgia drag? I haven't been able to talk to Ronnie about the event. Did he take a lot of his cars out there?
Ronnie wasn't out there.
He was. Okay, I thought Ronnie wasn't make it.
Ronnie wasn't there. But here goes the scoop on that. This vintage race, which they have every year, and sometimes they have it twice a year. But this year, it was the busiest I've seen this track in a while. It was packed.
Wow.
It was packed.
Well, I saw a bunch of different cars just on the videos.
Dude, it was packed.
Cars I don't recognize.
Yeah, and there was cars I haven't seen, but it was packed. It was a good event. And usually this event, since it starts so early, that usually they wrap it up about 3, 4, maybe 5. This time I heard it went into cleaning to the nighttime, so it was like 8, 9 o'clock when it was done.
Wow.
So, but tons of cars, man. They were parked out the back. I heard that they had to turn people away.
Wow.
So I don't know how true it is, but when I got there, which is about 10 o'clock, they just started time trials. But man, it was out the back door, man. But it was a good event. It's always a good event. You know, you see a little bit of everything. They have the different classes. They have they basically have an index. If you run faster than, I think 650, you run that class. If you run slower than 650 to 750, you run a class, and slower. So it's broken off like 3 or 4 different classes. But it's nostalgia. I think it's pre-63.
Is this the same event that used to
pre-60, pre-73 or something like that?
Is it the same one that they used to put on by the Continental?
Continental Club. It's a piggyback off of it.
It's a piggyback.
It's
so
similar,
I think, So one of the things that they did back then was that they would really reserve the event for period correct. I think 19.
One time it was a pre like a 63 back then.
Yeah, there you go.
So and then that was.
But now you got muscle cars.
But now, they got a muscle car class, which again I think it's still got a limit of year, but it's forgiven a little bit. So I think it goes up to like, I want to say, well, they had cars there that they didn't have nothing there like in the 80s, so it had to be somewhere around that time frame. So anything, but you've seen everything. You've seen you've seen Roadsters, you've seen Coupes, you've seen of course the 55. You've seen of course Camaros and all that good stuff, but. And like 67 C10s, so it was a variety of everything. But this event was always big, but this year was like the biggest I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, I want to see, and I know it's all.
But you're right. The Continental did have that original. That's what it's called, the Continental.
That's why I enjoyed it, race because you would only see those.
Yeah, it was a pre 63.
Yeah.
So nothing over 60. It was all older.
Right.
So yeah, we always just run it with the 55, and you seen it was always like the. The 40 sedan or something or something
you
older.
Get paired up with something that you like.
And that event had a I forgot how they broke it down. It was like an MC and a street class or something. And the winner of those two classes, because they only had just 2 classes. The winner of those 2 classes would run each other for like the top eliminator.
Okay.
So that was always cool, but like I say, that race was big. That was 2 weeks ago it was on the 14th. I believe we had the 14th of October when that nostalgia meet was, and a lot of people. It was a good turnout. It was a ton of people, so it was good. So nothing happened after that. Like I said, then they had there's some events that's gotten canceled. There was supposed to be like a big. I think they're supposed to have a big event this past weekend at Little River. They pushed it back to this coming weekend to November the 4th. I can't remember the name of that event, but it's kind of like a big bracket race if I remember right. But
now rolling it back from that vintage race.
Yeah.
What current drag racing news? What events did you get your info on, or did you participate in, or went and spectated in that drag radio, slick, small tire car classes? What all did you invest in? Because I was out for a little bit throughout the whole summer.
So this was back in June. We took the 55, the car to that Bar None Fade All, Big Sleepy's race in Little River, which is a big event. I touched the base on a little bit what we did to go through that event. We had
I do remember that one.
So the car had a mocked up motor, LS motor, that was about 40-50% complete. Took it all back out, put the original small block back in, had to rewire the hard again, and had to do a bunch of things. Put 2 different converters in it within like a week time frame just to try to go mess around with this race. And
were you near close to your target?
Yeah, we ran, and we were running the 6.0, and
did it run better?
That converter made a big difference. it ran a 599 and a 603, and then since we were rushed so bad, the wiring, I had to make a little. It had a painless wire switch panel in it, and that was kind of. One of the toggles, the rockers was bad. Yeah, it had an actual rocker in it, and that rocker was bad, so I had to take that rocker out and make a a toggle switch. That's what it
Two
was out of
wires.
a. It was a good toggle. It was like a steel toggle, or
Yeah.
a good 30 amp toggle. Going into elimination, I was like, okay, it's on. I was on, man. My lights are on, and I'm like, okay, we're getting it. And then I went to go activate that in the first round, and that toggle switch broke. I'm like, what the hell? So, needless to say, I lost the first round. But yeah, it was running on his dial, and I was spraying like a 200 shot, progressing it. So it was hitting nitrous. But before, we always had this loose converter. That converter was ready for my Camaro. And my dad found this other old 3800 TCI we had back there. I'm like, hey, let's try it out. And so, like that Wednesday, we dropped. Actually, my dad did. My dad dropped the training, put the swap converter around, and then when we tested it out when we were loading up that Thursday, and it was tight. I was scared it was going to be too tight.
Yeah.
On motor, it's a pig, just like how a nitrous converter would be, which is perfect. But on nitrous, man, I loved it, and it worked.
Right.
So it was good.
Started picking up on top end.
Oh yeah, it started working, man. It was working, and like I said, it'll run. I guarantee it'll run 580s easy.
Because you got the cam for that motor is a little big.
It's a nitrous cam. It's a 725-inch lift cam.
So it's a top end, more of a top end.
But it's got a 111 lobe separation.
Oh,
So it's got some nitrous.
It's got some in it.
Yeah, it's got some nitrous specs in it. The duration maybe can lose a little more on the exhaust side, but it's a good all around.
The car's lightweight though. It's not that heavy. It's a 55, right?
Oh, it's heavy. It's 3300, 3310.
Wow.
It's heavy.
I thought
It's
it'd be
about
like 3,000 at least.
No, it's like 200 pounds heavier than my Camaro,
Wow.
almost 300 pounds. So yeah, it's 3310 with me in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's heavy. That car's all steel, man.
Wow.
It ain't got it's got a steel hood, wheel wells,
Bumpers,
all the glass, bumpers. I mean, it's a heavy car. I mean, it's got a chrome moly cage in it and tubular A-arms and stuff. It's got some more bar, no back seat, but I mean, it's heavy. It's not light,
The
but
cage makes it back to stock specs.
it kind of gets it back to stock because, like I said, the gearbox is out of it's got a rack in it, but when you start adding in all the bar and some of the other stuff, it nets it all out.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that was fun. You know, if there's something going on this year, they might make it out again if the weather's good. You know, might run another index class or something. It's there. Of course, we're eventually going to go ahead and take it back out and go back and put the nitrous mode, the turbo motor back in, or try to play with that, get that ready. It's just a lot of prep work that you got to do with the wheel wells, the front engine down bars. It's fun, you know.
I was on the internet just earlier, and every time you see the tunnel ram, the sky ram, it does the turnaround on the front. If it's short on a 55,
right.
I saw a guy he fabbed up a top plate to look like a top cover to look like the 65 Stingray EFI setup that runs on the side. It looked pretty good, man, because it was on a 57 Chevy, and so I forgot who posted that. I think it was Hot Rod Magazine. Look it up on Instagram. But anyway, it was pretty neat, man, because he had his turning sideways.
Coming out the side.
Off the side, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Like I said, if it's like a single or something. But like I said, if we want to do the twins, it's gonna take some manipulating. It can be done. It's just to kind of do some mods and play with it. The tubing, that, and just kind of figuring out how we want that. The headers. We got some forward-facing headers that we thought would work, but I mean, we can make them work. We're just gonna have to modify those headers too, because they're gonna be short. Because everything's up here, and like I said, the way the turbos are in the down bar for the engine plate, it's right there.
So
you don't have a lot of room to.
Yeah, I've got my setup on the Falcon, but the Falcon's even tighter because it's got towers.
Yeah.
But you know what? Hooker Headers makes those cast iron pre-made ones.
Yeah.
But there's one that they make that's it's a slim setup, and
they just came out with those.
Yeah. I mean, to a certain point, it gets restrictive at one point, but I mean, still, it's a
they do make a cast turbo. Because you got the front and you got the crossover. Where it goes from each bank, and it's got the So I mean, they do make them, and they actually make the Flowtech makes a good set
Do
of
they?
forward-facing headers for LS.
Oh, but they go on the bottom, right? So
You can do them either way. You can do them
Really?
top or bottom, forward-facing. We're thinking about doing, if we can get something where the turbos are like right in the
Right
middle,
in the front.
in the middle front.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because in the front's where there's not a room. If I can put them right here, like on like a lot of the, I'm not saying my car pro mod, but just the placement of the turbos
Yeah.
that where it's easy and accessible, and the tubes there's a lot more clearance.
Right.
Again, we're just
It's all
we're
placement.
brainstorming. Yeah, we're just
Yeah, it's all
brainstorming. It's got to be
placement.
perfect. Everything's got to be kind of where you can get the stuff easy, plugs and whatnot.
The
So
valve
it's-
covers, man.
Yeah.
You ever seen some that it's like, damn, how are you gonna get to the valve covers? You
Yeah.
gotta adjust the valves,
Yeah, well, that's too. Like I said, the coils are going to be a remote. Definitely, they're going to be a
Yeah.
remote mount, so you can take the valve covers off without fucking with a lot of shit.
Right.
So, like I said, yeah, there's a whole bunch. It's planning and just a matter of executing, but it's slow going. But it'll happen. It'll get
So
there.
y'all were almost there, and then y'all decided to, you know what?
Yeah,
It's gonna take
it
another
was
year.
just a funny story because we it's a good race. We wanted, we hadn't raced in a while, and I wouldn't think Dad was like, we got that motor right there, got
That little
race-
motor ain't no jumper though, man.
it's a
It,
bad-
it makes your car run real
It's a
good.
bad motor. It's a bad motor.
You
Being
embarrass some big blocks.
that motor's been built since 2007, and I mean we got rebuilt lifters and new set of valve springs, but the bottom end is all, and it's tight, man. That motor ain't no joke. But
can
but
you
yeah,
can you disclose how fast that car's been, or you keep it off the record?
no, man. So when that motor, just on motor, when that was in my Camaro, it went 6.0 on motor, just on motor, in the Camaro. When I had a different gear set and that loose converter, it used to have 488s in that little car,
Ooh,
and that motor in the 55 at 3310, it went 623,
Yeah.
and then we took the 488s out and put a 410 because we're planning on spraying it. And it went down. It runs like 640s on motor,
Yeah.
and I'm not wrapping it out, but the converter was always too loose. We sent the converter off and put it. It was my mistake before I had my scales. Before I really knew what it weighed,
Right.
I sent it back off to get it taken down, and for my specs, they took it down like 500 stall speed. It helped, but it's still on the loose side. It was my fault. Well, then. To kind of go back to what we put it on nitrous with the nitrous converter on motor, it ran like 660s pig. And what did you expect? But on nitrous, man, on like a 50% ramping to 200, I mean, it was catching 129 60 foot. It caught 129 60 foot and went at 599 at 112, almost 113. Ain't even pushing the Sundays.
Yeah.
So it'll run 580 if I wouldn't even. That's still with a hot plug. I mean, I still had an 8 plug in it, which I was taking out a lot more time than what I should. If I put a colder plug and play with my timing, where I'm not taking a lot of time, and it'll run. But overall, like I said, that motor, the plan with that motor, I don't know yet. Like I said, it's still a stout motor. People say, you want to sell it? We don't think so. We'll keep it.
I know. I asked you one day, hey, you gonna sell that?
Yeah,
I'd like to put it in my
we'll
car.
put it maybe, if we find an S10 or something. But
Yeah.
anyway, the plan is to put the LS motor in and go play, have fun, E85, drive it a little bit more. That small block, it's like 15 to 1. 15 to 1.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
It's pretty big cam. So
85 ain't gonna help that.
it probably wouldn't, but ultimately, that car, it may have that motor in there for a little while until we figure out the LS and get some more mocking up and get some more parts. And John Henson, he great fab. He's gonna help us out, which he does a lot of work, and he's been building a lot of motors, so he's tied up. Not gonna bother him until he's ready. But when he's ready, we'll be waiting. So yeah, he'll knock it out. But and again, shout out to John Henson, DB Rods. But yeah, that's what happened in June. Got it done. Hit that race.
What other heavy hitters came out that for that race that we've had on the show? Tobar did you take his car?
Yeah, he was there. He had his S10 out there. I don't remember. He was running probably one of the little hitter classes.
Yeah.
Of course, Thomas. Jay was running his brother-in-law's Nova in little hitters.
Right.
Dylan Hamilton, he was out there. I mean, dude, that's been almost 4 months ago. I don't know.
It's been a while. What about the no prep world, man? Any of our cats gone to any of those? What I understand,
Yeah,
they went deeper in the woods. So
yeah, they went off the
We
grid.
don't know
They had a. I don't know. They've been hitting the streets pretty good. Like I
they've
said,
had some
they went low key.
outside of town races.
Yeah,
I mean,
they went low key.
Yellow Belly.
But when you Yellow Belly, but when you go down and look at like there was the picnic. They had the picnic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that piggybacks off the little hitters and stuff. That was big. I don't know any news on that one because I didn't.
I don't either.
I seen some high level. I seen some highlights. I don't know any of the details. I was watching it, but you know, Biddle was out there with his ride. You know, running both of his rides, and you know they still have the top end race with Tomato.
Man, I really like that damn Ford he's got.
Yeah,
it runs good. Looks good too. Stock, but man, it runs crazy.
Yeah, he drives on the street. It ain't nothing. I mean,
right.
it's a hitter. But yeah, they still have the top end race going on. You know, Tomato, Matt.
I saw him on Instagram. He's got a new car out.
Yeah, he's working on a new car. I don't know any details about it, but like I said, yeah, I'd say it too.
But they're doing something, right? That's the thing.
They're doing something, man. Yeah, dude.
Rules, laws.
They're going at it. They're doing their thing, and like I said, there's a lot of details that I don't know, so I'm not going to share anything because I don't know if it's factual. But like I said, they're hitting. They still have their events. They're still going to have the top end race. If I believe they're going to have one or two more.
Yeah.
Within the year, there's some other races that are going to happen. There's some no time stuff that's going to be going on in Extra Prix or in the next couple of weeks. There's a race in Twin City, Louisiana. Scooter and those guys, Suge Knight, they won an event in Evendale this past weekend, or weekend or two ago.
Oh yeah, there was some talk about that little white car going fast. I mean, it started hitting the internet.
So you've seen it too?
Oh, I've seen it.
Okay, so yeah, so that's nothing. It's out there, right? Yeah, and it's. I mean, it ain't no joke. Everybody knew. I mean, nobody was doubting it, but yeah, it's no joke. So they had an event. They won. Like I said, Evadale, and there's going to be some more events here in November. I mean, there's still some racing going on here in Texas in November. So if it's the weather permitting, of course, right? But I think if you look at the forecast, it's going to start warming back up again. So it's just this little blast of cold front that come through for Halloween.
Yeah, it's going to go down to the 80s on Friday, so it's going to be good Thursday, Friday, and then I guess it revamps back up to cold.
Yeah, it'll get cold. I mean, but typically this time of year it'll be a little fall blast, but it'll warm back up. Like I said, so they're going to be doing some racing. They don't shut down. Typically December. There's some races that may be scheduled. There's a winter blast in West Texas, I think in December. So they're gonna, they'll be running, of course, weather permitting. But so yeah, here in Texas we hardly shut down, just like in Florida. But there are gonna be some months in January that are gonna be slow, but people are gonna be out testing like always. January, February, be testing, and of course season will start back up and see what happens. But that's pretty much the down low on the like on what we did in June. Like I said, that was the plan, just run that race, and motor's still in there. On that car, just gonna get some new stuff, tires, and maybe make some few more races. The Camaro's ready.
It is ready finally.
Yeah, I mean it's ready.
Did you get a finalized tune on it, or?
I'm tweaking on that. I'm slowly doing that. I'm getting some assistance.
It's kind of hard when you don't have a dyno at your
Yeah, it is tough. It is tough. You got to go do a little hits here, read, hit, data log, hit that. So it takes time. It'll get there. But like I said, when I first go out, it's not gonna be like a woo. It's gonna be like
fill up the tank and put it on the tow road. See what it does. Tune it.
Do it right here on the side road right here.
Hell yeah, that's a good distance.
Yeah, it's still a little long. But yeah, it'll make its appearance soon. So just small little things, small tweak tune. You can go back and tighten up. That's what I want to do too. It's been since so long, just jack it up and do a once over everything, tighten everything up, make sure everything's tight, secure. And,
damn, that bars, man.
Yeah, all that stuff. You got to check all that stuff. That shit will, even though it's just sitting there, it'll back up. So that's what I want to do. And then once that's done, boom, rock and roll.
Speaking of the other event that we're talking about, the gassers and nostalgia.
Right.
Mark Halleck, one of
yeah.
our good Austinite buddies here. He
There you
he
go.
had moved to Tennessee
Yep.
to be closer to the Southeast Gassers out there, which was a huge thing
Yep.
for him to move out there, and the owner of the event, Quayne, quite happy with him moving out there. But one thing that I didn't realize that he had done when he got out there, not only did he take all his stuff, like he literally, you know how Davy Crockett came from Memphis, I mean not from Tennessee to Texas and became a Texan. Mark
he went
left
to Texas
Texas and became Davy Crockett.
Yeah.
So I always gave him hell about leaving Texas, but
he's living, doing what he wants to do.
oh man, he says within a spitting distance there's a track for him to go from his house. So they like picked the location perfect so that
up in the hills
he could have fun. Yeah, well, I don't even know. I just know that there's a train and there's a nice house and he's got his weights,
Yeah.
which weigh about as much as a whole car.
Well, then
taking him out there.
he bought that old 56.
That's what I was my point.
Yeah.
So back to the nostalgic stuff. Mark's cars have been around since he was in high school, right? He bought his first car. He had a truck prior to that, real nice truck. So that nice turquoise 55 he's had has been never seen rain. It's never. I mean, there's no rust on it.
No,
the floorboards. You would assume that he just replaced the floorboards, and it's all original. The taillights, they look like he bought some new ones the other day, and they've been the original ones. Yeah. So he takes his car out there. He also has the 55 Nomad. That's from what's his name?
Mr. Machine guy out there. Yeah.
Ed Morrow. Yeah. So he's got that one, which is also a real beautiful car.
Mm-hmm.
But then he goes and buys what everybody known it as the Flower Power 56 Chevy with the SCG world. And there's even a little Hot Wheel, man, that they made for the girl that used to drive it. Mm-hmm. Mark bought the car.
Yep.
He took off Flower Power off of it because he ain't gonna run with that.
Yeah.
But
he took one of the motors out of 55.
He took the motor out of the 55. He put it in that car, and he went to. I think he's gone to a couple of races out there already. I haven't kept up with him or to find out what he's doing, but he didn't have enough for the A gas.
Yeah.
So he got thrown into, I think, the B gas.
B or C.
So that tells you how much horsepower those little motors are making to be running an A gas. Because he's got a nice little motor.
Yeah.
4-speed. So
gotta be.
So he ran it, and apparently that car is not just a car that was built yesterday. It was built back in the 60s. And so that car's been around. It was called One Gone Dog or something like that prior to being Flower Power. So of course he bought it because it's got some history on it.
Of course,
So you guys that are into gassers and still like to watch the events on YouTube and stuff. Mark's doing it, man. He left Austin to go race with those guys, and so not only is Santa just out there running his Nova and Whiteside and Danny, but now Mark's out there with that 56 Chevy, and so it's going to be fun to see some Texans, mixing it up with Southeast Gassers. Southeast Gassers, it's a big thing up in the East Coast, just like no prep and small tire cars out here. That's just the way it goes out there, right?
Yeah.
So it's always fun to see the videos that they post up, and they actually have sponsors, from Summit. I guess the Mickey Thompson Slicks, and they've got so many sponsors that contribute to that sport. It's surprising how far a gasser car has come along, and for it to sell out at the
big time, man.
Events.
It's popular.
Mark left, like I said, he left Austin, Texas to go and run with that kind of stuff because it's big here, but it's not as big as it is
over there. Yeah.
So
that's
it's
kind
fun.
of where it started at. I mean,
plus the paint jobs, man, they're not wraps. They actually hand letter these cars, and it's really cool as shit to see some have an owner self build a car and with some help from others. But you look at the car, it's like shit.
I know, man. Those guys are fast, and all the cars always got big turnouts. So props to Mark. Like I said, he's always said that's what he was going to do, and he damn sure did it. He literally got up and moved.
You're talking about a guy who's lived here all his life.
Yeah.
He took off, man. I'm like, wow. and then he goes and buys that, which is Quane's wife's car. Actually,
Yeah,
that's who it used to be.
The
So
other one, yeah.
he bought it directly from the owner of SCGs, and he's putting it to good use. So that's, shout out to Mark, man.
Props, like I said, because I know he had bought a 56 and he was having it built, and he said
it got too hot in Texas.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't work with it during the summer. I went over there one day to go help him out. He's like, man, it's too hot in here.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, let's save it for
well,
another day.
He got a turnkey, so he's still got the 56, I guess, the one he was working on.
I bet, yeah.
But it got, from what I've heard, like I said, I think you told me that like it went straight over to a guy in North Carolina or something like that.
Something like that. That wasn't me. That was somebody else.
Yeah,
Thomas
it went right over there, and then went bam, he's getting whatever. And then he said, well, let's got this one was turnkey. So
turnkey? Just put a motor
in it. So
hell, I would have bought it. That's a real nice car.
I mean, it's a real pretty car. Like I said, set up the way it should be, rules, coordinating, and just put his power plant in there. So, but yeah, shout out to Mark. Like I said, that's a good point. I think to bring that up, like I said, Syntex guy, he's still gonna be Syntex as far as, he doesn't necessarily live here, but he's where he's from. Right. Born and raised.
They still say Mark from Austin. Yeah. Still announcing
Mark
that guy
from Austin,
from Texas.
Yeah.
Like, huh?
Yeah, he's the David.
He don't live here. He's the Daniel Boone.
David Crockett. David Crockett of the
damn squirrel. That squirrel hat.
Gotta buy him a hat. Yeah, let's give him a hat. But anyway, guys, so we're gonna kind of just roll out, and but we just kind of want to give you guys an update. Like I said, this is gonna be just a Halloween BS, if you will, for the holidays. Like I said, we're rolling into another season, holidays of Halloween going forward. We got plenty more, but ultimately, like I said, just give us a shout out if you guys have any questions. You guys want to, have some subjects you guys want to talk about. Give us a shout out.
Send us a text message. We're on Facebook.
Text message,
Instagram.
Facebook. You can message us on Facebook. Big Buckin Deal.
We read our stuff. We read what y'all send.
So give us a shout out. Anyway, let's wrap it up. Everybody be safe. Have a good holiday with your family and friends. And don't work too hard. Be safe. Stay warm. We're going to roll call it out. Peace
Peace out, guys.
Later.